My wife works as she's mostly because she doesn't work at times. She's mostly yeah. No, I did that for 9 months out of the first time I had those.
Does your new laptop get really warm? This thing gets hot.
Is it only when it's plugged in?
Well, it's because it's running video, but you feel here. Holy cow.
If I go in front of this, I'm not going to block.
Michael, do you want me to take the winners of the Good Awards decided after they make their speeches, or do you want me to do it like later on in the event? How do you usually do it?
Let's corral them out.
Okay.
Yeah. we can take them out where there's more light.
Okay. Oh, you're in Let's look. I told him to give me a taste test. The snow to melt, so I can hopefully are. Like it's the snow's on the ground. I can't get out there yet. But we've been pursuing with the kids. That's just the kids who do stuff out here. We take the leaves and all that. So you here do all this.
Should be speaking.
We're supposed to be up there. We're supposed to be up there. Well, we're supposed to get food here up there. We're getting food up there. We're already serving the food. That's the only thing. Brad, you're not eating. Stand around and wait.
many years have I been telling you? Retire on some regrets.
So that means you're going to retire now? Does that mean you're going to
I think you saw one of my guys. Greg?
Welcome everybody. Everybody can sort of get settled for the next minute. We'll get started. We have a pretty full agenda. Lunch, exciting lunch hopefully ahead. So if everybody can get settled, get your place. Start with our soup. As before, I'll introduce myself. I'm Ed Surratt. I'm a family physician, a solo family physician from northeastern Pennsylvania, a small town known as Mechanic on the Susquehanna River. There for about 33 years. And I am the current board chair of the PAFP. It's been an amazing journey and a great year. This is always an exciting event that caps off the board chair's responsibilities and that is to moderate today's award ceremony and the induction of our new officers as well as our president-elect. And we also at the end will cap off with some awards for some outstanding members of the Pennsylvania Academy of Family Physicians who have exemplified themselves in the area of education, patient care, and public health. So as we settle, I'm going to invite past president, Dr. Brad Fox, to the podium to initiate our convocation. And before we start, I want to use this once during my board chair. So this is it. We're getting started.
I get asked every so often to do the invocation because typically the invocation is given by the majority members. I tend to be one of the few Jews hanging around, but my tradition has always been to give something not denominational. I've given something twice from Native American traditional prayers. I've given one that I borrowed from Reed Blackwelder, which was the Zen Yoga lesson. This time around, I wanted to be a little denominational. I thought about the fact that I can be long-winded, and I looked for something short, and I actually found an 8-paragraph prayer, which it's kind of long, but it also is very meaningful. It's my botany's prayer, physician's daily prayer. And if you've heard it before, listen to it as a group prayer. It's supposed to be a individual prayer that you do each morning before you start your rounds or before you start your office hours. I'm doing it before a meal because this is the podium I've been given, and I'm going to be translating it from an individual prayer to a group prayer. But this is my Magni's physician's daily prayer. Almighty God, you have created the human body with infinite wisdom. In your eternal providence, you have chosen us to watch over the life and health of your creatures. I am now about to apply ourselves to the duty of our profession. Support us in these great labors, that they may benefit humankind. Without your help, not even the least thing will succeed. Inspire us with love for our art and for your creatures. Do not allow thirst for profit, ambition, for renown and admiration interfere with our profession. For these are the enemies of truth that can lead us astray in the great task of attending to the welfare of your creatures. Preserve the strength of our body and soul, that they may ever be ready to help, rich and poor, good and bad, enemy as well as friend. In the sufferer, let us see only the human being. Enlighten our minds, that they may recognize what presents itself, and that they may comprehend what is absent or hidden. Let them not fail to see what is visible, but do not permit them to aggregate themselves. The power to see what cannot be seen, the delicate and indefinite are the bounds of the great art of caring for the lives and health of your creatures. May no strange thoughts divert our attention at the bedside of the sick, or disturb our mind in its silent labors. Grant that our patients may have confidence in us and in our art, and follow our directions and our counsel. When those who are wiser than us wish to instruct us, let our soul gratefully follow their guidance, for vast is the extent of our art. Imbue our soul with gentleness and calmness. Let us be contented in everything, except the great science of our profession. Never allow the thought to arise in us that I have attained sufficient knowledge, but vouchsafe to give us the strength and the ambition to extend our knowledge. The art is great, but the mind of a person is ever expanding. We now rise to our call. Now, traditional Jewish prayer, before you break bread, is the prayer over bread. The prayer over bread is very, very simple. And I'll tell you it, and then you can say it along with me. So, traditional Jewish prayers start with Baruch atah Adonai, which is blessed art thou, O Lord, our God. Eloheinu melech haolam, ruler of the universe. And in this case, it's Hamotzi lechem min haaretz, who brings forth bread from the earth. Amen. So, together, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Thank you, Brad. Appreciate that. Two critical statements there. The power to see what you cannot be seen. Very, very, very interesting. So, we have a few special guests in the audience today. Some of us have already met Wanda Filer, who is the past president of the AFP, as well as a past president. We also have two other special guests with us today. Martin Ranowski, who's the executive vice president of the Pennsylvania Medical Society. Will you stand, please? And Diane Ewart, the executive director of the Pennsylvania Osteopathic Medical Association. Ms. Ewart, would you stand, please? Welcome. So this is a time of a little bit of movement. We are now going to ask the past presidents of the Pennsylvania Academy of Family Physicians to join me on the podium up here to help me perform the induction of our new officers as well as welcome our award winners. So we will have Brad Fox join us back at the podium here. The seats have not been prearranged, so you get to pick first, Brad. Doug Spots. Rob Rodak. Nicole Davis. Kevin Long. My old classmate from Jefferson, Madeline Shaken. Mike Baxter. Paul Williams. And Dennis Gingrich. And William Sonnenberg. Well, come on up anyway, yeah. We all know what it is. So Wanda, you're going to have a task. That's why I didn't want you to come up too soon. Wanda will help us with our new fellows, and she will help them receive their fellowship recognition. Our new fellows will include Dr. Aaron George, Dr. Robert Crossy, Dr. Beth Friedman, Dr. Joseph Irwin, and Dr. Paul Larson, if you all can come up to the podium. Wanda will have a few things to say about you and something's off.
It's like a dance routine up here. I like it. I've asked Dr. Dennis Gingrich to help me. Dennis knows a couple of these folks quite well, and I think he just makes it even extra special. Dennis just came up from DC. He sits on our AAFP board. He's in his first year. And just throw like, that's all I hear from you. Just so Dennis, thank you. To these fine gentlemen behind me, this is a very special day, as this marks a group of fellows conferred by the Pennsylvania Academy of Family Physicians. We're gathered to celebrate and honor those who have earned the degree of AAFP Fellow. The American Academy of Family Physicians is dedicated to promoting excellence in healthcare and the betterment of the health of the American people. We do this in many ways, but perhaps none is so important as promoting and maintaining high standards among physicians who practice family medicine. I'm delighted to confer upon these exceptional family physicians the AAFP degree of Fellow. Established in 1971, the degree of Fellow is a special honor bestowed upon family physicians who have distinguished themselves among their colleagues by their service to family medicine and their commitment to their professional development through medical education and research. They're recognized as champions of family medicine who make family medicine the premier specialty in service to their community and their profession. It's important to recognize that these physicians have given a great deal to their respective communities. However, those communities have given much in return. Therefore, I'd like to take this moment to encourage you to thank your patients for giving you the time to come and be honored today, because they're all thinking you're on vacation. How was your vacation, Doc? Yeah. Those of you who are going to be recognized will join more than 29,000 AAFP members who have labored to achieve this honor. Some of them are our guests here today, and I'd like to take this opportunity to ask all current fellows to stand and be recognized. Thank you. The spirit, dedication, and effort that these thousands put forth typifies the untiring energy of family physicians around the country. Together with them, you carry on the renaissance of family medicine. As family physicians, the challenges you have chosen to accept are distinct and demanding, yet ever rewarding. Your understanding of illness, family, and prevention make you uniquely qualified to care for all members of an ever-changing society. Furthermore, you've chosen not to rest on your laurels and have zealously pursued additional skills and education that make you uniquely qualified for this degree. It is for the pursuit of excellence and achievement that we honor you today. I'm going to ask you now to repeat this pledge after me. Don't worry, the little one-liners. I'm better yet, you know. I promise to dedicate myself to the principles upon which our academy was founded. To providing comprehensive lifelong care to my patients. To exemplifying the highest traditions of my profession. And to enhancing my professional skills through continuing medical education. You're doing good. I pledge my commitment to improving the health of my patients, their families and communities, and to advancing the specialty of family medicine, now and in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, in accordance with the bylaws of the American Academy of Family Physicians and by virtue of the authority vested in me, I hereby confer upon each of you the degree of Fellow. Friends and guests, would you please join me in giving this new minister?
Thank you, Wanda, and congratulations, fellows. So I'm going to ask John Jordan to join me at the podium. And John is our current executive vice president and has been so for the last 20 years. And as we were preparing this afternoon to get ready for this, John always runs around with a lot of last few minute details, trying to make sure that everything goes perfect. And usually everything goes perfect. As we looked around the room, I said to John, this is your last big show. This is John's last awards luncheon and officer induction ceremony. So I'm sure that there's a lot of emotion today for John as we welcome him to the podium. But I'm also sure that there's a lot of relief. 20 years went very well and very fast, and he has achieved a lot for all of us throughout those 2 decades. So as we welcome him to the podium, let's give him a round of applause, please.
Okay, this is my last time to present the President's gift. It's a tradition of the Pennsylvania Academy to present a gift to the outgoing president and the board of directors and also from the staff. So I'd like to ask Dr. David O'Gara to please come up to the podium. So I'd like to read this plaque that we're giving to Dr. O'Gara for his outstanding leadership over the past year. It has been a great experience working with David and all the issues that have presented itself to the PAFP over the year. David has always been accessible. I think we worked extremely well together and surely going to miss his leadership. So I would like to read the plaque. The Pennsylvania Academy of Family Physicians proudly recognizes David T. O'Gara, MD, FAFP, for your strong leadership, tireless efforts, countless hours of service, and commitment to strengthening the Academy and promoting the specialty of family medicine during your presidency. With deepest gratitude, March 8th, 2019, from the Pennsylvania Academy of Family Physicians Board of Directors and Staff. Congratulations, David. David was also very, very kind enough to make a donation to his nonprofit in Philadelphia, One Day at a Time. This has been done previously, and we really welcome that. So I wanted to say thank you for that donation to the nonprofit, One Day at a Time. Thank you.
One more.
We have not done this before. As you can see, it's a huge proclamation from Governor Tom Wolf of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Do hereby proclaim March 2019 as Trauma-Informed Care Month. I encourage all Pennsylvanians to raise awareness of the effect that adverse childhood experiences have on individuals and recognize the value and importance of trauma-informed care, given under the hand and the seal of Governor Tom Wolf, Governor of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Giving this to David, since he's the outgoing president, and since this proclamation was presented to the PAFP during his presidency. One more. One more recognition. I would like to recognize Dr. Ed Zerad for his past leadership as board chair over the past year, as past president. Ed and I have been in communication at those times, and welcome always his leadership and his advice. We're going to miss you, Dr. Zerad, for your service. So we have a glass award here presented to you with grateful appreciation, presented to Edward G. Zerad, MD, Fellow of the American Academy of Family Physicians, for your dedication to the Pennsylvania Academy of Family Physicians and Foundation for your efforts, insight, and commitment to the organization 29 to 2019, 10 years of service to the Pennsylvania Academy, March 8, 2019.
Didn't realize it had been a decade, you know. We have a few board members who will be leaving us after this meeting, and we'd like to recognize those board members and have them join us here at the front. James Joseph. We also, Dr. Joseph will be leaving us as Director at Large. We have two other board members who I don't think have been able to join us today, and that is Dr. Morgan Rogers, who's our resident representative, and Chris Davis, our student representative. I don't think they are here to join us today, but we'd like to obviously thank Jay for being here with us, and we appreciate all of your service over the last 3 years. And we have an award for Jay, and I will read that. For your dedication to the Pennsylvania Academy of Family Physicians and Foundation, for your efforts, insight, and commitment to the organization, 2012 through 2019. Thank you, Jay. I would like to recognize our newly elected officers and directors, and if you could join us here, several already at the front podium: Nicole Davis, Brad Fox, Tracy Conti, Jason Wolowski, Susan Fiddler, Tiffany Leonard, and just as you thought you could eat Wanda, you're back up here at the podium.
It's always fun to do this for people that you work with and that you love and you respect. So, congratulations, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, to the officers group, and I'm going to save you for later. Your peers have selected you for leadership positions in the Pennsylvania Academy of Family Physicians. in recognition of your demonstrated service, initiative, and ability. You are entrusted with preserving the traditions of your chapter, upholding the principles of family medicine, and fulfilling your obligations to the Pennsylvania and national academies. Family physicians are responsible for providing state-of-the-art personalized healthcare and representing our patients in a rapidly changing healthcare system. The Academy and your peers have placed great trust in you to keep those we serve uppermost in your thoughts and actions. We salute your energy, your commitment, and your integrity. And I personally want to thank you for your dedication to your peers and your patients. I challenge you to continue the fine leadership tradition of the Pennsylvania chapter while providing innovative leadership. Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your new leaders with applause.
So those folks have signed up for lots of evening meetings, lots of teleconferences, lots of weekend meetings in the future, all orchestrated by the wonderful staff of the PAFP. We try to make those things happen in such a way that they're as least intrusive as possible to family life and practice life. But there's a lot of things that those individuals will be giving up over the next few years. So now I'd like to ask Mary Stock-Kaiser to the podium. Joining us as our president-elect, and once again, Wanda.
All right. You know what? The membership of the Pennsylvania Academy of Family Physicians has chosen you to the role of president in recognition of your dedication, your vision, and your leadership. Effective leadership can seem complicated. It often involves walking a fine line between enabling and dictating. You'll like that last part. Individually, we all seek the right combination to allow us to lead without overwhelming. Our specialty cultivates individual leadership. By virtue of the demands of our specialty, we are comfortable taking on more than most people. We're family physicians because we want to make a difference in the lives of our patients, their families, and our communities. Dr. Mary Stock-Kaiser, the Academy and your peers have placed great trust in you as their leader. I salute your energy, your commitment, and your integrity. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. As president of the Pennsylvania Academy of Family Physicians,
As president of the Pennsylvania Academy of Family Physicians,
I recognize the trust my peers have placed in me
I recognize the trust my peers have placed in me
by electing me to this position.
by electing me to this position.
I am committed to serve the specialty of family medicine,
I am committed to serve the specialty of family medicine,
the state and national academies,
the state and national academies,
and our members and patients with professionalism and creativity.
and our members and patients with professionalism and creativity.
I resolve to honor this trust and commitment
I resolve to honor this trust and commitment
by devoting myself to upholding and maintaining
by devoting myself to upholding and maintaining
the dignity and official responsibilities of my elected office.
the dignity and official responsibilities of my elected office.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Mary Stock-Kaiser.
Comments about Mary before she gets a chance to talk to us. So Mary grew up in the neighborhood in Gettysburg. She began her undergraduate work at Rochester, New York, and returned to Pennsylvania for medical school at Penn State College of Medicine. And it was there she fell in love with family medicine and the PAFP. She pursued her residency training at Andrews Air Force Base outside of DC while serving in the U.S. Air Force. The Air Force sent her next to Omaha, Nebraska, where for a while she managed to virtue her Hathaway Fund with where she was an element chief in the Family Health Center and further developed her clinical and leadership skills. Upon completion of her military service, she returned to Pennsylvania, thank goodness, with her family and settled in the Lehigh Valley. She currently maintains a clinical practice with the Lehigh Valley Physicians Group in a large downtown office in downtown Allentown. And she combines her medical director responsibilities with teaching and clinical care of her patients, some of whom are have significant comorbidities, because we've spoken about some of those over the years. Her husband, Drew Keister, could you stand for a minute, please? Also a family physician. Who has been very active in education with our academy. They have brought their two beautiful young daughters today, who are here to support their mother and their father, and their family. And they enjoy the U.S. Women's National Soccer Team as they travel with their daughters to watch the soccer games. So with that, I'm going to turn the podium over to Mary, who's going to be an amazing president-elect, and I look forward to the coming year.
My first order of business, I need to call Dr. David Quirk back to the stage. As he is now the past president of the PAFP, I'd like to present you Dr. Quirk with your past president's medal. Remember to bring it to all future.
As the outgoing president and now board chair, it really is my honor and privilege to present the current president's medal to the president, Dr. Mary Keister. Your academy is an incredibly good advance. Mary is the epitome of a Renaissance physician and a Renaissance family physician. Family is incredibly important to her, and I look forward to seeing what she can say.
I am thrilled to be assuming this position within the academy. Thank you to David, and Ed, and Tracy, and all current and past board members with whom I have served, and leaders past who guided me on my journey thus far. Special thanks to Wanda for giving this day a special Pennsylvania connection. And as I've prepared for the day, I heard John Jordan's voice in my ear asking the question he's asked many of us. If the PAFP disappeared tomorrow, would it matter? Because we are a member-driven organization, and when we ask our members, they say they want advocacy, education, and future pipeline for more family physicians. So we need to do those things, because if we're not serving the needs of our members. But how would we serve them? Do we wait for them to tell us what they need? Or do we look at present and emerging trends to anticipate what their needs are going to be and make sure we're well positioned to serve? And what do we do as an academy that really sets us apart? With more and more family physicians being employed, when employers offering their own CMEs, family physicians have lots of options, so it can't just be CME. So what are the things that PAFP does that no one else does? And are those things really worth doing? We acknowledge that becoming a family physician and continuing to practice in the current environment causes moral wounds. The multiple years of schooling to become a data entry clerk, the need to shuttle patients through the system, the misaligned incentives, and frankly being a part of a system that meets the needs of almost no one who encounters it, most especially our patients. We acknowledge that for our employed members, although you will bring your passion for your patients, your communities, and your craft to work every day, the hospital or physician group will not let you back. That when presented with an option to diminish our scope of practice in the name of profit, or margin, or productivity, or access, they will do it. And that although we choose security over autonomy in our contracts, we still and must retain the professional responsibility to call those decisions out. We acknowledge that for independent family physicians, even those who do not take insurance, their patients are still interacting with the expensive, complicated, confusing, and often ineffective broader healthcare environment. And we acknowledge that in this fast-paced, changing healthcare environment, especially how technology changes how people think about health and illness, how people engage with their healthcare, how they benefit, and who gets left behind, family physicians will always be there. And we will be faithful to the promise we hold so dear. I will take care of you. I will use all my skills to help you improve your health, and if I can't improve your health, I will stay by your side to comfort you and guide you. And with those acknowledgements comes the real thing the PAFP does. We are an organization which supports and enhances the professional identity of family physicians. What you want to be as a family doc, we will help you be that. Through our advocacy to support a practice environment where we can thrive. Through our educational efforts to allow each of us to bring new knowledge into our relationship with our patients. And through our work building the pipeline for family physicians for Pennsylvania. So those of us who are ready to step out from the work know that the patients will get good care. And so will we. So where do I fit? Here's a really short period of time. There's initiatives to continue working on scope of practice, prior authorization, opioid prescribing guidelines, making Pennsylvania a place where different care models such as TPC can thrive. And there's new things to start, like considering how we're going to figure out this primary care spend. What is the percent of the money that goes into healthcare in the state that really goes to primary care? And what might we be able to do to increase that percentage for the benefit of our patients and our practices? And which ones of you will help with these things? Which of you will create new initiatives or programs to enhance the professional identity of the family physicians in Pennsylvania? Which of you will answer the call the next time we ask who's interested in leadership? I want to say thank you to my family for sharing me with the PAFP. Thanks to my friend Nancy for always being there. To my father-in-law Irv for being a great conversation partner and a wonderful grandfather to my girls. To my dad and mom who can't be here for always believing in me and instilling me with a love of learning. To Ida and Bill, who are wonderful partners to my parents, alleviating great worry on my part, because loneliness isn't good. To my girls, Rowan and Alina, who allow me to see the future and always keep me on my toes. And to those we lost, especially my mother-in-law Diane, that we lost almost a year ago, and my great-uncle Dale, who we lost just last week to the flu. And finally, my greatest thanks to my husband Drew, whose limitless love and partnership allow both of us to work toward our dreams. I couldn't do any of this without you. And what a life we've built. So that's enough for me. Now, it's time to get to work.
Thank you for a beautiful speech. I am reinvigorated, and I feel like we will be well represented in the years to come. So we have a new award this year. It's our Public Health Award. This is the inaugural Public Health Award. I would like to ask Elizabeth George, Dr. Elizabeth George, to the podium. So as Dr. George comes to the podium, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about her. So she is our inaugural Public Health Award winner. She began her journey as a family physician at Brown University, where she earned her medical degree. She completed her family practice residency at Overlook Hospital in Summit, New Jersey, and established a primary care office, including an obstetrical practice, along with her husband in Mercersburg. There she has maintained a commitment to community well-being, both as a physician and parent of young children. Dr. George's impact on public health has been vast, from single-handedly spearheading the elimination of smoking at the Chambersburg Hospital in 1984, and helping to establish and direct the Chambersburg Hospital Maternity Clinic for patients without medical insurance. Dr. George has also established a medical mission trip to El Alto, Bolivia, and co-founded a nonprofit in Mercersburg known as MacWell, committed to making the area a place that inspires its population to live well, if we only all could do that. Recently, MacWell obtained a grant to collaborate with the Mercersburg Borough to repurpose a tannery brownfield area for a streamside trail and park. Last year, tree planting and pollination for the trail area began. I have a quote here. Dr. George began the best community health intervention I have ever witnessed, called the Healthy Eating Adventure, HEA, said a colleague who nominated Dr. George. She collaborated with Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn, a noted surgeon at the Cleveland Clinic and researcher on plant-based whole foods nutrition, and his son, Rip Esselstyn, the author of The Engine to Diet. For the past 8 years, she has done so. She has conducted 6-week-long healthy eating adventures at 3 locations around Franklin County. This included measurements of several physiologic parameters such as blood pressure and weight before and after the 6-week adventure, and laboratory testing of glucose and lipids before and after. Another quote, I have never met a physician who has done more for the community in Pennsylvania than Elizabeth George. Congratulations, Dr. Elizabeth George, for earning the PAFP's first 2019 Public Health Award. Welcome. So I'll read the award and we'll pass the award. So this is, the PAFP proudly presents the Public Health Award to Elizabeth George, MD, in recognition of extraordinary contributions to public health.
Thank you. I'm really honored. I'm really honored to receive this award from the Pennsylvania Academy of Family Practice. And I'm thrilled because this award shows the Academy's emphasis and commitment to community well-being and community wellness. And in these days when lifestyle is probably 60 to 70% of the cause of our chronic illnesses, it's even more important than ever that we shift the behaviors in communities. And communities that have environments that invite us to walk and be active, or that have healthy eating place options, help our patients choose healthy lifestyles. And we can spend time in the office talking to patients about these. But if they go out into a community that doesn't invite them to be healthy, then a lot of our time is is not useful. So you might say, well, no, let me back up. So 5 years ago, I was at the Eastern Pennsylvania Trail Summit in Allentown, and I spoke about our projects in Mercersburg. And afterwards, a person came up to me and said, how do we get other doctors to do this? So what that said to me was that, yes, my voice was important. And what it said to me was that people really do want doctors to stand up and be heard, because we have an important voice, we have an important story to tell that really adds to what the community is trying to do. And you might say, well, doesn't this take time? I asked Ms. Shauna and Trevor, our chefs today, because they created for you a fabulous meal. And if you'll notice the vegan bean soup, the arugula kale, and the quinoa salad, those are the bases in the making of a fabulous whole foods plant-based eating diet. And I just want to thank you all and applaud you. I did not see any, I saw all empty plates. So I just want to thank you and applaud you. It takes courageous chefs, talented chefs, to show us how delicious and bountiful plant-based healthy eating is. And in our healthy eating adventure, in 28 days, we get to see people take us on and be fully proficient in cooking this way. And I can tell you the meals are delicious. And at graduation, so many of them feel so much better. We see reversal of prediabetes, we see reduction in diabetic medications, and people get off hypertensive medications, and we see LDLs drop below 100. We had a person whose LDL dropped from 90 to 60. He was already on statins. So the way we eat does make a difference. And yes, it takes time, but it is thrilling to go home knowing that in 30 days you can make that big a change in people's lives. And all of the volunteers that work with us, and when we plan our next adventure, they say they keep doing this because the ability to share this and spread it around the community is so valuable to them. And when you take these things on, you won't be alone. Other people will stand up to share your vision. Chris Ardinger is here. Chris Ardinger stepped up when he was at the end of high school and when we was down in Mackerel, Mercersburg Area Council for Wellness. I don't know if he knew what he was getting into at that time, but he did our websites for us. But now he's the the Tuscarora Area Chamber of Commerce Director. And last week, he and I and some council members were out walking with PennDOT along one of our roads to make sure that they did some work on it to make it more walkable and bicycle safe. So that's the kind of thing you get to do and the people you get to meet. And thank you, Chris. So another person to thank is my husband. We've been together since high school. We went to medical school together. And so now for 45 years, we've initially dreamed and then have continued a family practice whose main goal is to be based on healthy lifestyles. And it's been wonderful. I have 5 brothers, so I'm probably the outspoken one. I'm persistent. But Bob brings the voice of calm and reason. And between the two of us, it's been really very satisfying. And our careers as family physicians has been very fulfilling. So with that, I just want to leave you with 2 calls to action. So the first one is, I would encourage you and ask you to make, for your 5th vital sign, asking your patients, have your nurses do it while they're pumping up the blood pressure cuff. Do you have 5 fruits plus vegetables a day? Simple question, she puts down yes, no. The doctor gets it, he looks at it. If they're doing it, you go, wow, that's great, keep it up. If they're not, you go, that's a real basis to a healthy eating plan. Just work on that, it'll help you. And actually does help them shift because they're putting in the fruits and the vegetables and they gotta eat all the other stuff. And that's all you've had to say. That's all the time you've had to take to make that invention. You can take longer. You give them that fact sheet on how to eat a rainbow of fruits and vegetables. And that's it. So I challenge you to take it to your hospitals, take it to your offices. 5th vital sign, it'll make the patients go, that must be really important. And put it through. And then the other challenge is, like the persons at the Eastern Trail Summit asked, they'd like more physicians being involved. So go to your communities, see who's doing the bicycle trails, the walking trails, working with PennDOT, and see if you can bring your physician's perspective and voice to make those things happen. Thank you very much, and thanks so much for this award.
Congratulations, Dr. George. I like that fifth vital sign. I'll be introducing it in Tunkhannock next week. So we have co-exemplary teachers of the year this year. And I'd like to invite Allison Myers to the podium. Dr. Myers is from Philadelphia. She is our 2019 co-winner of the Exemplary Teacher of the Year. She began her medical career at Drexel University College of Medicine, where she earned both her MD and her MPH. She completed her family medicine residency at the University of Pennsylvania. Dr. Myers is assistant professor of family medicine and community health at Penn's Department of Family Medicine and at the Perelman School of Medicine in Philadelphia. She's a member of the Society of Teachers of Family Medicine, the American Academy of Family Physicians, and the Gay and Lesbian Medical Association. Dr. Myers has won numerous awards and honors, including the 2018 Residency Faculty Teaching Award from the University of Pennsylvania Department of Family Medicine. Those who have nominated Dr. Myers for the award have specifically cited her for underserved populations, particularly the LGBTQ patient and community. Dr. Myers is also, this is a quote, Dr. Myers is also an exemplary model of a physician passionate about social justice. She can frequently be found at community events supporting various vulnerable patient populations that we serve, said one of her students. Another former student declared, now that I am a family medicine resident, I often reflect on how inspired I was by her passionate commitment to improving education in the area of LGBT health. She stands as a role model for the type of teacher and practitioner that I strive to be in my own career. Another quote, Dr. Myers' leadership has been absolutely crucial for our progress as a department and as a health system in caring for these marginalized communities, said another student. Dr. Myers' teaching has been transformative for the residents and medical students in our department. I cannot imagine a more qualified, worthy candidate for the PAFP Teaching Award. Congratulations, Dr. Myers, for earning the 2019 Exemplary Teacher of the Year Award.
Thank you very much. PAFP, I'm truly honored to win this award. I'm here today with one of my very first family medicine preceptors from when I was a clerkship student, Dr. T. Borgia, who inspired me to become a family medicine physician. So thank you very much, Vicki, for all your mentorship over the years. She's definitely the reason that I'm a family doctor. I also want to thank Dr. Meg Nielsen, who's our program director and couldn't be here today, and Dr. Joseph Teal, who is our medical director, because they've just been infinitely supportive in my role as a teacher to residents and medical students. In the building of our provision of health, or provision of care to LGBT patients, and in my role as a teacher of LGBT health, and particularly transgender health in our residency program. And so it's really just, I hope that I can empower the students and the residents that I teach to be the experts in that care wherever they find themselves in the future. So thank you very much.
We have another co-exemplary Teacher of the Year, and it is Dr. Gordon Liu. Dr. Liu is a Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania resident. He began his medical career at St. George's University School of Medicine in Granada and completed his residency training at UPMC at the Keysworth Family Medicine Residency Program. He is currently an assistant professor in the Department of Family Medicine at Pitt and an assistant professor in the HIV/AIDS program, the the Department of Infectious Disease at Pitt. He's also the HIV and Hep C Director, HIV Primary Care Track Director, Medical Student Director, and Global Health Director at UPMC McKeesport Family Medicine Residency Program. And he's also visiting faculty at the Department of Infectious Disease at the University of the Philippines. So he gets around. Those who have studied under Dr. Liu characterize him as personable and kind, with a wealth of knowledge about family medicine, and have a best care for patients. A quote, Dr. Liu is the most enthusiastic and engaging educator I have met thus far in my medical education, said a former student who said Dr. Liu was instrumental in their consideration of a career in family medicine. He deserves recognition for his incredible commitment to evidence-based medicine and teaching, but also for modeling exceptional patient care and bedside manner. He is patient, encouraging, and positive. He is truly a gifted mentor and teacher. They continue, Dr. Liu is not only an incredible educator, but an incredible physician. He is remarkably personable and never uses medical jargon. He immediately connects with his patients and partners with them for medical decision-making. It is valuable to see an experienced physician model these behaviors, and it is also inspiring. He is a dedicated teacher, physician, and member of the community, said another student. He strives to model evidence-based medicine while navigating the complexity of shared decision-making with patients, and does so expertly. His patients speak highly of him and remark how no other physician listens or respects them as well as he does. Dr. Liu cannot be with us today, but one of his past students will be accepting his award. I'm taking it home. So we have the event that many of us look forward to every year, and that is the Family Physician of the Year Award. I'm going to review an introduction of Dr. Tadano, William Tadano, and it speaks a lot about him, but it doesn't reflect the unbelievable amount of letter writing that his patients, many of whom are professionals in healthcare, wrote to support his nomination. I think all of us who were involved in the selection process enjoyed reading those, and I'll introduce him and allow him to introduce himself shortly. Come on up, Dr. Tadano. He is from Norristown, Pennsylvania. He began his medical career at Jefferson in Philly, completed his residency training also at Jefferson. Dr. Bill practices with the Burke's Family Care in Douglasville, where he has been practicing since 1991. He serves as director of the Southeastern Veterans Center in Spring City and is the school physician for Pottsgrove School District in Montgomery County. Bill's numerous appointments include the board of directors at Pottstown Health and Wellness Foundation, Pottstown Family Care, Pottstown Hospital Tower Health, and teaching appointments with the University of Pennsylvania's Department of Family Practice, DeSales University, Philadelphia University, and the Reading Family Medicine Residency Program. Patients and colleagues of Dr. Tadano were especially enthusiastic about his nomination for Family Physician of the Year. As I mentioned, dozens and dozens wrote in to rave about his wisdom and the care that he provides. A quote, Bill has a deep sense of caring for his patients. This I know, as I am one of them, said one patient who was a practicing physician. He has a great sense of humor, sense of caring, and sense of responsibility. But truthfully, I admire him most for his competence. He is an excellent physician, up to date and on the ball. From pediatrics to geriatrics, Dr. Tadano knows his stuff. He has a large, faithful following in this area, and he is a physician to many healthcare professionals. Another quote, he is absolutely the most compassionate and caring doctor that I've ever dealt with. I'm not entirely sure how he is able to keep up with so many details about us, said another patient. He takes the time to fully explain in plain English what's going on and explains the treatment plan in simple language. The bedside manner that he maintains should be modeled for all new doctors to emulate. Congratulations, Dr. Dononia, for earning this year 2019 Family Physician of the Year Award.
I had no idea I was going to get an Oscar. I'd just like to thank the Pennsylvania Academy for this wonderful honor and award. You know, this award of being the Family Practitioner of the Year is an award that every single one of us earn. And it may not come in the form of a plaque or a certificate or an Oscar, but it comes every day in the form of a thank you. That form is a thank you for taking care of my mom, thank you for helping my father die, thank you for taking care of my children, thank you for calling me in the hospital, thank you for making a house call. It comes in the form of being asked to go to a christening, to a wedding, to a graduation, and it even comes in the form of going to a funeral, being asked to give a eulogy, or being honored to be a pallbearer. To my right, I have a picture put up. Is it okay if I walk over?
I want to share with everybody a picture that I have hanging in my office. And it greets me each day to remind me what it means to be a family physician. Has anyone ever seen this picture before? This is a beautiful picture that was commissioned in 1890 by Sir Henry Tate. It is known as the doctor. The author, the artist is Sir Luke Falvey, who painted this and completed it in,
Who completed this in 1891. He chose this based on a personal tragedy that the artist went through in 1877. His young one-year-old son died, and he painted this to honor the physician that took care of him. This greets me every morning, and it embodies what we do and what sets us apart as family doctors. What you can see is this painting depicts a very dimly lit cottage. In the foreground, you can see the light that shows both the physician and a very sick young boy. This young boy, we don't know much about him. We know that it's 1890. We don't know why this boy is sick. Maybe he has pneumonia, maybe he has TB. But we know he's very pale. He's lying on a makeshift bed with 2 chairs. He's got blankets on him. And sitting next to him is a very pensive doctor. You can see the light coming off of a lamp that shows his very caring face. He's about middle-aged, very well-dressed. In the background, you can see the parents. You can see the mother over here. It's hard to see, but over here is the mother. Her head is in between her arms. We don't know if she's praying or if she's sitting there in despair and crying. But standing behind her, looking at the physician over here, is the husband. You can just barely see his hand comforting his wife. What we see here is as a physician comes, he applies his medical model. He asks questions, he does an exam, comes up with an impression and plan, and he starts to treat this young child. We see over here a half a bottle of medicine. We don't know what that medicine is because this predated anti-infectives, antipyretics. Over here, you have a wash basin that the doctor uses to comfort the child and take away fever. On the floor, we have some crumbled paper, some prescriptions that he might use to get this child better. He's reached a point where this is all he can do to help this child. But what he doesn't do is he doesn't abandon the family. He stays here all night until you can just see coming in through the window here dawn, which with it brings new hope and new life for the family, hopefully. He doesn't abandon the family in their greatest need. Perhaps he's sitting there saying to himself, this is how I want to be treated or my family to be treated. Perhaps he's sitting there saying to himself, I can't leave this family. Day's coming, if the child dies, I need to be here to comfort this family. If the child awakens, I need to be here to share in their joy. This is the very premise of what sets us apart in family practice. And this is why every one of us is the Family Physician of the Year to each of our patients and our families. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. So we would like everyone tonight to think about the presentations this afternoon and the wonderful family physicians who we've all just had a chance to see and hear a little bit about their lives. And in many ways, they represent what is found throughout this room, caring physicians who do it every day, all unsung heroes. But the Academy will be here to continue to hopefully pursue the dream that we all achieved when we finished our residency training years ago. Tonight, we'd like those of us who can to enjoy the Lila Stein Crozier Memorial Lecture, which will begin at 4:30. Following that will be the President's Reception. There will be reception shuttles outside the hotel to help board those who want to go over to the site of the reception and celebration. And I understand there'll be some historical members from the Gettysburg crowd wandering through the facility this evening. So we look forward to seeing you all this afternoon at the lecture and this evening, hopefully at the celebration. Enjoy the rest of your day and the CME that's been provided this afternoon. And thank you all for your attention. Appreciate it.